Hello everybody and welcome. It's that time of the year again where we do our top and our bottom 5 investigators to share our opinions and also dunk on some investigators. Because what's more fun than doing that?
You're telling me I should be taking notes so that I know which of Travis's top 5 should be in my bottom.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll send you a list.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, I'll just keep it the same and then just move it over in the list.
I think we shouldn't be allowed to put them on our either list if we haven't played them.
That's fair. That's fair.
I've played everybody.
No, you haven't. You've played every green character. And
Yeah,
like a
except
handful of blue
like
ones.
the new ones.
And that's kind of it.
I've played everybody.
Which purple character have you played aside from Dexter?
Sefina is purple.
He has played Diana.
Purple card.
He has played Diana.
Diana.
I think that's the only one I can actually think of. Who did you play?
I've played Marie.
You played
on
Akachi.
Roll. I really don't like Marie. It seems like she just has a bunch of. That's
Yeah,
that's
this- We're getting a bit. That's next week's video. But today we're going to talk about our top 5 investigators. So Bryn, why don't we talk with your first one here, your number 5, which is
It's Alessandra Zori. I played her through the Feast of Hemlock Vale, which, like, possible spoilers because YouTube time is real weird. I'm not going to get too much into what happened, but every game, it was either like, I'm not sure if I'm having the best or the worst time that I've ever had playing this game.
Yeah.
But it's definitely one of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's...
You were definitely doing things.
Yeah, we... Like, things.
Yeah.
You know? Like, not going to college, but, like, things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think that there's going to be like 3 or 4 parlay cards in a box going forward, or do you think they're going to survivor it and just be like, sorry, you got all the tools you need?
I kind of hope they survivor it a little bit.
Yeah, I think
I wouldn't
like,
mind seeing like 1 or 2, but...
Yeah.
I think parlays are going to be more like, we were going to word this as does not provoke a tax of opportunity. It's just going to use this word now because we can do that. Like,
well, they always could.
Yeah. It is one of those things that, in retrospect, like looking back, it probably just would have been cleaner if it was like that from the beginning, right? If it was just, or if the word was used more, right? Like the keyword was used more.
Yeah, so like I expect to see some, but not a ton.
Yeah. Sick. All right, my number 5 is... To the surprise of me, so in anticipation of this, I made... You know how you made that list where you're like, the investigators you love to play?
Yeah.
I finally did one, because I was like, we have to record this video next week, let's do it. And this was actually a surprise to me that he made the top 5.
So you didn't have to, like, actually make your list, you just pulled it from...
Yeah. I basically, I had it on easy mode, right? I did it in advance and got this.
You're just, like, copy-pasting content?
Yes. Well, that one's not coming out till July, so it's going to be fresh by then. Yeah. So mine is Dexter Drake, and this one was a surprise to me because I actually had, like, the worst time playing Dexter. And there was a great moment where I was... I said it was in... I don't think you were there for it, because we did the expanded guide, and I think it was me and Bryn. Or, like, I said it somewhere that I was like, I don't know how to play Dexter. And you linked in the comments our own expanded guide for Dexter Drake.
Oh, yeah.
And a big part of this was just that, like, I remember seeing Bryn play Dexter. And Bryn was, like, doing so many things. And I was like, every time I play Dexter, I feel like I was just panicking, right? And I now realize just because Bryn just, like, always has that cool, calm demeanor. And, like, there could just be, like, a fire going on in his mind. And he's just like, this is great. I'm strong. I can handle everything. But then... I made a video with Eric, which was new player tips to play Dexter, and I really just like went into Dexter, checked him out, and was like, hey, so what am I doing wrong, and what can I advise new players to do? And then I took that advice, and I was like, I've done it. I've cracked him, and this guy's actually like so fun to play.
Amazing.
And I was like, Dexter's... I don't know if he's going to make it next year, but like I have a lot of good memories playing Dexter from the last year.
Now.
Yeah, and he's just like... it felt so good to like beat him because I was like, why is this fucking magician just like always has my number? And then it all came together. Yeah. So
sometimes you show up to play Dexter and you're like, this guy's got a bunch of cool words on his Eldritch Horror card, and then you just die in Tokyo.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is. I have to say, I am a little bit offended that you're good with Dexter in this game.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah. All right, Travis, your number 5 is...
It's Norman Withers. Wow. Yeah, so I like his card pool, which is something that you're going to see very commonly throughout all of my all of my choices.
Yeah.
Interesting deck building is a huge plus for me when I find fun. The Seeker level 0 suite is very powerful, and then the high level Mystic stuff is both powerful and interesting. I like his ability. I think it's very fun. There's lots of neat things you can do with it, and like shuffle effects or draw effects, obviously, to get past them. You can do some neat things in Scum the Game sometime with the Harbinger on top of your deck. Being able to play things off the top of your deck feels really good. His other sign is like nice in the sense that it's not super impactful, but
sometimes it is.
It's usually impactful.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of the other sign effects, which are just like a big plus and nothing else.
Yeah.
Sometimes a small plus.
Yeah.
Or not plus at all, and no other effect.
Yeah. Or no plus, and then just really good effect.
Yeah.
So I think this is a happy medium between the two. It's got a nice stat line. You show up and you're doing one thing, and that's what you're here to do.
Yeah.
And you got extra signatures too if you wanna.
Yeah, if you want to just like change it up, or even just put them all in and just go nuts.
Yeah, this guy's from Edge of the Earth too, so not just the book promo.
Yeah, no, it's just
not exclusive.
It's one of those things where like I made this back when there was the book promo, and this is just Norman Withers.
Man, we should have just had this like, as we're talking, fade into Trish.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did have good times.
Yes. Yeah. One thing I also like, 'cause I think, is to go on the Harbinger. It's, I think, like a perfectly designed weakness. Like you get those like signature weaknesses that just kind of suck because it's just like a double action, and this is just a double action.
Most of them.
But it's like it's so uniquely mechanically to him in the game that it feels great. And then sometimes you have like you've drawn your 7th card. And then the Harbinger shows up, and you have like 3 turns left, and you're like, I guess I just don't have a deck anymore, and like things are going to be fine. And I think that's fun. You can sometimes just like have them there waving at you for a while.
Yeah, it's like one of those weaknesses that is crippling to you sometimes, and then very rare occasions it's actually beneficial.
Yeah.
Like very niche situations. And then, but like probably 40% of the time it shows up, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
I guess I have to deal with that at some point, but it's not an immediate threat. It's very much like the those basic weaknesses that when you take like hypochondria, I think is
when you take a damage or
you take like a direct horror
yeah.
and the reverse one, eternal injury, where they're there and you're like, this isn't a problem now.
Yeah.
And it's not a problem until it is.
Yes. Yeah.
And then
you're
it's
like,
a very big problem, and you should have dealt with it ages ago. But it's not a problem right now, so it's gonna stay there.
Yeah, this guy is very weak if you're playing events only. Just throwing that out there in case anyone's trying to do that.
I suspect that may have been pilot error.
I don't think so. You don't get upgraded yellow events, and like
which are really
a giant
sweet,
pile of the upgraded purple events are like, put more charges on your spell asset, and you're like, what the fuck? I don't have one of those.
You can just dump all your experience in upgrading your special razors and
I couldn't then.
And your it's a pilot error. You should have anticipated that.
That's actually no. It's like planner error. I did it at the wrong time.
You also have 5 book brain.
Though that's also why I was Harvey for this one, because I love just BVS.
Yeah, how'd that go? It was great.
I like BVS and
lots of clues from just BVS.
Yeah.
So boring.
Batman v Superman, or Batman 5 Superman.
Done justice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Bryn, your number 4 is.
Oh, we got Mark Harrigan. He's just like kind of sexy.
Here.
Yeah. Like 5 punch used to be a lot. Now it's pretty standard, but he does other things too.
Like draws cards, which
like
the blue is bad at.
Yeah.
He does have like a very fragile number. Like he is actually only like 5'5" or whatever. Because if he gets mad at you, your numbers are all bad and you suck and you don't do anything. So that's cool.
Just don't do that.
Yeah, just like play a lot of assets and take damage or whatever.
Or healing effects.
Nah, we don't do that here.
You could do both.
We show up and we're like, guys, I'm taking too much damage. And then we wait for one of you to fix it. It's going to happen.
I love the memory of this year.
It has every time. It's worked every time so far.
With your Mark Harrigan through our Carcosa draft run and the whole moment of respite actually just like being like a godsend.
So
it worked out.
It did.
Yeah, moment of respite should never be a good card.
It's fine.
Yeah. It's a panic button if you need it, if things are just going south.
It's not a good card, but it's not a bad card either, I don't think.
It's like one of those things that if there were like sideboard cards in Arkham, it's like one of those things where like if you have a lot of mental trauma, it's worth a slot.
It's a bulletproof vest or an Elder Sign amulet.
Yeah.
It's not actively bad.
But you can play it when your deck can only contain events.
Yeah.
You can.
Also, if you're playing your deck, you're probably not having a great time.
It's true. My number 4, speaking of Norman Withers, is actually just also Norman Withers.
Oh.
That's weird.
Yeah. It is.
I didn't think we had any duplicates.
No.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Where do they keep those nuclear secrets?
Wait a minute. So Trish was actually, I think, like, she was really highlighted on our channel this year. Number 1, because of the Norman Withers Trish disguise thing was really great. We got a new joke to go with it. I also played her a lot. She's probably my most played investigator over the last year, mostly because I think her card pool's insanely good. Right? Like, like the row, you get like the best seeker lives in like 02 and just like the flat line of it. Like, I think 05 has like some high ceilings in terms of like the glyphs and all that,
it's
right?
Got a lot of like real high impacts.
Yeah, but like I think like the 02 is incredible and like just like flat, and then 05 Rogue you get like the really good shit, which means that also you get to like play something that's like janky and just make it really good. So like when I had the idea to build around Otherworldly Compass, a card I never played before, because I was like, hey, this is just a flashlight that can be better. So I was like, okay, I'm going to play it in Trish, and I'm going to pair it with Lola, going to reduce a bunch of shrouds to 0, get a bunch of free clues, and just kick ass with it. And Trish can do anything that you want her to, because her card pool is so good, and her ability is so good, and her stat line, I mean, it's good for what you want to be doing for most of the stuff for that.
Trish is one of the few investigators who gets like the most solid pyramid base, where she can play Deep Knowledge and Faustian Bargain.
Yes, yeah.
And you're just living the best life.
Yeah, and your decks are just insanely consistent and insanely good, and she's just really fun to play at because her card pool is just so good. Yeah. All right, Travis, your number 4 is...
It's Mandy still. Yeah, she's still on the list. Yeah, we like Mandy. I played one campaign with her off camera this year I was playing Research Notes .deck with her. It was very good. Extremely good. I was using the Raven Quill to find it. Also extremely good because you can find 2 of them.
Yeah.
And the same Raven Quill, and then you just have 2, and then you're balling.
That's sick, yeah.
Yeah. The deck was like basically a BVG deck until I got the press pass, and then things really started popping off. But like Norman, Mandy has a very flexible card pool that I like. There's some new combinations you can play in her that other investigators have difficulty playing, or they have it may not be conducive to them because their other deck building or their abilities kind of push you away for it. Another thing I was going to say about her.
Ooh, is it that she's really bad when you can only play skills in your deck because there aren't enough of them to build her deck?
No, actually, it was that you can play some pretty neat, and like Justin was talking about Trish, you can play some kind of janky things because you just have to have a 50-card deck playing her tabooed. That's totally fine because you have the search power to find whatever you want. And I really enjoy that large deck size in combination with the increased consistency from the searching, because it lets you play a lot of niche and more narrow cards that you might not otherwise see and get full use out of them when they are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can hype your friends up about them and then in bad faith, and then they play them and they're bad.
That's good. Just trick your friends. Yeah.
You don't tell them that you played it at Mandy. You just tell them that it was really good. And every time I drew, it was fantastic. But you don't draw it when it's not good. So
yeah. No, that's sick. All right, Bryn, your number 3 is...
Oh, it's Carson Sinclair. This guy is the best investigator in the game because you don't have to play the game.
Why is it number 3 then?
You just sit here and wait.
Why is it number 3 then?
Because I like to play the game.
But if Bryn had to choose to not play the game...
But if I was choosing not to play the game...
Fine.
I would pick this.
It's just
guy.
weird for you to say that he's the best investigator in the game and not have him be in number one spot.
I mean, like, I get, like, 100% what you're saying, Bryn, because anytime I have to build, like for a patron game day, I have to build 3 decks. I'm like, one of them ends up being a Carson deck sometimes, because I'm like, I don't have to play Arkham, I don't have to think. I just give people actions. Because I do 3 sessions on normal game days.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, he's probably the strongest flex in the game. Because you just pick whatever your teammate does good, and you're like, me, I good.
Yeah.
You now.
Yeah, the reason why he's the best flex because he's also he's also like Mark Harrigan and Harvey Walters at the same time.
Right. Like you get whatever your teammates do well, whatever they've included cards and spent XP on to be good at. Yeah, you're kind of good at that too.
Yep.
Like not great because you can only do it 1 action a turn, but.
Honestly, the worst part about Carson is the Guardian 0-5.
yeah, like the Guardian 0-5, like 6/6 is like a little bit of a fragile starting point, but you got Guardian 0-5, so if you can't figure that out.
Yeah, the actions you're not giving to your other teammates, so
like,
it's usually just to keep you alive.
Yeah, use it to play your Hunter's Armor or whatever the hell you've got, and
just 6/6 isn't too bad as long as you're not taking much trauma.
Yeah, no, it's
like 6/6 is what you usually go into the last couple of scenarios with.
Yeah. The thing is, though, with this guy going into the last couple of scenarios, you might be 4/4, and just showing up and being like agency backup. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine going to the last scenario being like 5/3 or something like that.
Who would do that?
That would never happen.
No, he is like a little fragile, and his card pool is maybe not the best one. But like he is very good at doing whatever your team needs to be done.
I've never been unimpressed by him. He's just like always like impacting the game for not doing anything.
Yes, sir.
I bet you'd be unimpressed if the other 2 people who showed up didn't do anything.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They're doing nothing the worst.
And they're blaming you. It's like you brought a character that doesn't do anything. And I'm like, no, you don't do anything.
Yeah, the Mecha Carson playthrough.
Oh yeah,
not gonna be good.
No, I think it's gonna be great.
No, it's gonna be great. We're just gonna like pass actions all around.
Yeah.
Your passive is gonna be basically you get an extra action.
I give you an action. Yeah, I give you an action. You guidance me back. No.
You give me an action. I have my extra action. I use that to give Bryn an action. Bryn uses his extra action. Give you extra action. And you're up in action.
Wow. We just divide by 0. Did we just break something?
Yeah. That one's gonna be a mess.
Yeah. I mean, we should do another mecha. I do want to do a mecha Mandy too. I think a mecha Mandy would be really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, she can't play safeguard though, so she's got to waste turns moving or whatever.
Yeah, but do you know how many times we get all the clues off one location with 3 Mandys and 3 practice makes perfects, Bryn?
Oh my god, commit 3 deductions to the test.
Yeah, like 6 times, or like, I guess 12 times.
Yeah, oh my god, that's an achievement we gotta go for.
Yeah, just show up, play the Forgotten Age with it. Like, we can't explore unless there's no clues here. Oh no!
What a tragedy. Yeah.
All right. On to my number 3, which I forget who it... Oh yeah, it's Joe Diamond. I love Joe Diamond. He's great.
He's cool.
He's weak as hell. I don't think he's like a particularly strong investigator.
He's nice.
Yeah. Like he's very fragile. He's such a me investigator because all he does is he's like, I'm going to win before the game kills me. Like, that's how I'm going to do this, right? And I love going fast. I love the hunch deck. I love having a decision point each turn. It's like Norman Withers and his face-up card, right? Yep. Just that one extra card that you didn't know before the turn started. You're like, oh, how can I use this to my best advantage? He's also a lot better than he was when you guys played him in Circle Undone for the first time and we had all the bad mememories with Joe Diamond.
That was not a great time.
He's the only investigator I've ever died on turn 2 with.
Yeah, that's also a badge of honor.
That was pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, the 2 auto-failed rotting remains. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's very fragile, and you have to, like, prepare for it, or just, like, as I said, race the game. But his hunch deck is just such a fun mechanic to play with. He's a cool investigator. Yes. All right, Travis, your number 3 is...
Is Vincent Lee, the Doctor. This guy, again, has great deck building, and I'm sure that you guys can guess who the number 2 or 1 is. So I played this. I played Vincent Lee in our Blowjob Brothers run through the Scarlet Keys, part of the Groundhog Day saga. That went, I want to say off the rails, but it went really smoothly, actually.
Yeah, no,
It was like pretty good.
No,
Yeah.
like the campaign went off the rails because like it was like, why aren't you playing me? We're just like, because we got a Rougarou we got to kill.
We're at a time like we don't care.
Yeah.
It does not matter.
Yeah.
I'm going to Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody else has already made this decision for me, and I cannot change it.
Yeah. It's like, no, you have to go check out the guy with the key. Or like, this person's going to destroy the world.
Yeah.
This blob's going to eat everything or whatever. We can't go to like Alaska or whatever. We're busy.
Yeah. We got stuff to do.
How do you not know about this? But yeah, Vincent Lee, the giving out the unexpected courages feels really good. There's some really neat stuff you can do with the bone saw.
Mm-hmm.
Like yell about the bone saw. And give trauma to your... I think it's such a perfect ability being able to like give trauma to your teammates with it. To turn on all of your healing cards. I wish there was a few better options for healing.
Mm-hmm.
Something a little bit more consistent, because Jessica Hyde's really the only super consistent option you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like more like
Vincent, but
incidental healing that would be huge, right? Like just like small little pieces like that.
yeah, and the combination of the Guardian, the Survivor, and the Seeker card pools pairs really nicely with the stat line he's got.
Yeah.
We don't care about foot here ever, so that's fine having a 1 there.
Yeah. I mean, it is perfect, right? Because, like, what do foot treacheries do? They deal you damage. What does that mean? More unexpected courage.
Yeah. So you can, like, commit to using your book or commit to using your fist. Or you can be bad at both of them and just be heal bot, and then you can shore up whichever one you're not focusing on, or both of them, with the Survivor cards that are designed for characters that don't have great stats.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. He's great.
Really elegant design, I think.
Yeah, I do wish that the bone saw, when it failed, gave somebody a weakness that ate like the maimed hand.
Just cut their hand off? Yeah.
Just like, oh, whoops.
Or, like, if you fail, you have to, like, secretly add an internal injury
Yeah.
into their deck.
Without them looking. It's like that cheaty face card in Magic. Yeah. Oh, what's that? Oh, no, look. You have an internal injury.
How did that happen?
Oh, no. All right, on to your number 2, Bryn, and it is...
Oh, it's Sefina Rousseau. Yeah, you might be like, but Brandon, you haven't played this investigator in like 3 years, and you're right. You're probably right.
You should play her again.
You should. She's got a whole bunch of new events to play with.
Like,
Yeah, we don't.
with whoever.
We don't need those. Let's just play with the tarot cards.
Yeah, we do
again
that. We get the
or
rogue
whatever,
run.
yeah.
Bryn's like, I'm going to choose, like, the first 3 sets. Give me Dunnage, Carcosa, and Forgotten Age. Play Sefina with them. Yeah. Just as I remembered her.
No, she's got like really interesting deck building and gameplay where you are not normal in any way, shape, or form. Probably one of the worst like unique weaknesses, really, because you can't really ever get rid of it. It just kind of shows up and chews up your resources, and that's what happens.
I think it's a well-designed, basically.
It's good. Like, it like when I say worst, I don't mean that I like it the least. I mean like it is
The impact of it
actively
is,
like, punishing.
Yeah,
to you.
no,
Yeah.
It sucks. I think it does a nice job of like punishing you for your game plan while also not crippling you, though.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
you
annoying,
can-
but it's not going to completely shut you down.
Yeah, and you can also like play around it with things like shuffling your discard pile back into your deck and decrease the frequency that you draw it with. She's just cool. Doesn't really do anything well at all. But that's what the events are for.
It's a lie. She plays events really well.
Yeah,
How many resources can you funnel into someone with Faustian Bargain and...
like so many.
Yeah.
What if I painted a world where you weren't broke?
Yeah.
Like
Look at
20
you. Yeah,
like
you're just covered in
15
gold. You're
resources.
made of gold.
Look at this.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I'll just add a bunch of happy little coins there.
Yeah. It's not a mistake.
Yeah. I mean, I think for a Hemlock rerun, we'll do free for all again. So maybe. Yeah.
Probably not, because reasons.
You're like, I have to play Carson again.
yeah. Like I'm just gonna show up and like sit here on my phone the entire time, like take an extra turn whoever thinks they need it.
Yeah. Just breaking bricks and like
playing Fruit Ninja.
Yeah. Wow! I cut a watermelon in half. All right. My number 2 is, I think he actually has this exact same place from last year. My 1 and my 2 are pretty solidly locked down at this point, and it's Parallel Skids O'Toole. I fucking love gambling, man. I have a problem. It's so much fun. I had a great time with him because I played Skids O'Toole, Parallel Skids, in Eric's Blind Forgotten Age run this year, and Eric was just in disbelief because like things were going south. There was all these lizards or snakes with us, and I'm like, all right. I'm going to play like 21 or bust. I'm going to like gamble over here. And then just all these things are happening. And it's just like such a fun loop of just risking your money to make more money and then like popping off in the last part of the scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You finally make it.
Yeah. And his decks, it's...
You sit there and you're like shoveling your money into the game. You're like, I'm due.
Yeah. I think I need to start trying other builds with him too for him to actually have longevity because I always end up doing the same thing. I take like Underworld Support or whatever that card is that reduces your decks and you can turn into Highlander. And then like I go from there and I just like build big exceptional stuff. But I think I got to try a different thing or else he's going to kind of get a little bit dull. But right now I'm still running the Gambler's High. Plus
extra hard.
Ooh, oh yeah, like freaking what's the one?
Show up with your Henry
Eye of the Djinn. Eye of the Djinn. Yeah, okay.
Lucky dice.
Lucky penny.
Okay.
Yeah, lucky
okay.
penny.
That could be fun. That could be a good time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Use your ability. You're like, who knows how much.
Are you guys cool if just in the Hemlock run I just don't do anything?
Yeah.
I just gamble.
That's cool. It's gonna be great with my Carson.
No, I think I want to play a Lily or Zoe deck for that one. So I think I'm gonna be the goon again. Yeah. Yeah, I love Parallel Skids. It's just so fun to gamble, and it's such a flavorful design too. For like the Gambler, I think they did really good with them.
It is a good design.
All right, Travis, your number 2 is.
Oh, it's Carolyn. Wow, it's Vincent, but different. Very similar, and Carolyn is number 2 because that's the order that Justin put them in.
It's the order Travis said them in.
Yeah. Well, Carolyn comes before Vincent.
It's true.
In the alphabet. So.
Yeah, it's true. No, it's true.
Yeah. It's just natural.
Yeah.
Anyway, pretty much all the things I said about Vincent apply here. I think Carolyn's on my list like every year. So
yes.
If you want a more in-depth analysis of why I like her, you can go watch all the previous year's videos.
Which I do link them in the descriptions for these, so you can go check them out in the video description. I do.
Looks at the descriptions.
I know people. I mean, actually, like that's the thing on YouTube. No one ever looks at the descriptions, but you should still put stuff in there. So
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even look at the descriptions.
Yeah, I don't even. No. I mean, I try to drop good jokes in the description sometimes, so you should check them out. But then that's when you're going to check out the video and it's like, hey, we're talking today about Carolyn Fern, and like no joke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, same thing as Vincent. Fun and flexible card pool. Ability rewards you for doing the thing that you're supposed to do without constraining it, without forcing you into it.
Yeah.
Unique signatures are less fun than Bonesaw, to be fair. But I think that Carolyn is more flexible as an investigator a little bit than Vincent, whereas Vincent feels you have to commit a little bit more to healing damage with Vincent to feel like you're impactful, whereas Carolyn, the horror healing is a lot more ancillary. Ancillary, thank you. It's a lot more extra. You don't need to do it to feel effective.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. Yeah.
Also, I think the resource is just like more ubiquitously useful.
And 2 skill icons is pretty nice, but yeah, resources.
Yeah.
Skill icons are helpful when people are doing things that they didn't plan to do, but resources help them do the things that they're planning to do.
Resources
so
just
they're more
like
fun.
help the player execute their game plan. The other one is just like, well, maybe don't die.
Just it's just a ward of protection.
Right?
Just
The resources, they're like, I get
this
to play my
turn?
thing faster, and if they get the unexpected courage, they're just thanks.
Yeah.
I'll throw this to the next Rawing Remains that comes up.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna throw this away before you heal me again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Bryn, your number 1 investigator, who I'm sure has been here every year for the last like 3 or 4 years since we've started doing these. I mean, it's true for me too, so I'm not. I mean, even I think it might even be true for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have our favorites.
At least one other year for me.
Your number 1 is.
It's old Bill Yorick.
It's him.
Yeah.
He's just,
We love Will. We love
Brent, can you
Will.
like lean over to the side, like Justin's side of the table, just like way over there, so we can compare the faces?
Yeah.
No, I actually like I don't know, like I'm kind of like clean shaven these days.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's not. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Like largely because like I'm 32 or whatever now, and like I look a lot younger without facial hair. So yeah, it's just like a coping mechanism or whatever.
I get it. I
Probably.
turn 35 on Monday,
Yeah.
and I can't fathom it, and I've just accepted it, and I'm gonna wither away into a skeleton. So.
Yeah, I turned 30 last week,
Wow.
and it's fine.
Yeah.
I still feel great.
Yeah, 30 was
All my
great.
friends were older than
30,
me, so-
30 was kicking. Yeah, 30 was that was a good year.
You know, like most of us are older and probably less healthy than you.
Yeah.
It's true.
Like take less good care
Just-
of ourselves.
just how
and
it is.
whatever. It's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
just like a thing. Anyway, this guy's sweet. He plays stuff from his discard pile, which is a dangerous thing for a character to be able to reliably do. He does it pretty fair though, because you have to defeat an enemy to do it. So there's only so many times you're going to be able to defeat an enemy in a scenario. So you're not like unlimited access to your discard pile, but
It's a lot of it.
it might as well be.
Yeah, it
most
is
of the
pretty.
time. You can do a lot of cool things with him with cards that discard themselves, like bandages or like Schaffners. Feels a little bit like cheating, but just a little bit. Mostly, unless you have like 3 or 4 bandages in play, in which case like, it feels a lot like
Yeah,
cheating.
no, that was.
When the game's like, so you auto fail this rotting remains or this grasping hands, and you're like,
I'll heal one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to put that many resources,
Oh.
like cards and actual resources,
Yeah.
into something in Survivor and not feel it's
Not
like
feel like you're
survivability in
cheating a little
Survivor.
bit.
Yeah.
And be like, I can't ever die.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But you can do a lot of other cool things with him, like play big guns and throw them away. And by big guns, I mean a chainsaw, because that's what he has access to.
Yeah, that is his big gun.
He's got the gun that can jam.
The old
Yeah,
hunting
you got the
rifle.
old
Yeah, that
hunting
one's pretty
rifle,
cool.
but the old hunting rifle, yeah, like it's neat, and it does cost less to play than the chainsaw.
He also
But
has
the chainsaw is way better.
He also has the event shotgun that weird. I mean, yeah, the chainsaw is the
Yeah,
best.
there's the shotgun that like it doesn't have bullets unless you play it while you're playing an event. So there's some weird, like if you kill an enemy with an event,
Yes.
his reaction ability triggers while you are playing that event.
Yeah.
Sick.
And you get to play the shotgun for free from your discard pile and have it come into play with bullets,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
what you
something
should
that we
bring.
might
Yeah.
we might experiment
That,
with.
no, that does seem like a
Like,
fun time.
it might be the reason that I'm not gonna play Sefina. Like I don't know, we'll find out.
I bet Williams will really good use of the new hatchet as well.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, like
Just
there's a lot
kill
of
people and then
in,
get back
um,
later. It's
like
nice.
just everything that is good for Hank is also like good for this guy.
Yeah.
It's been a good couple of years for Will Yorick. Cause,
You mean
like,
since his
everything-
release? Yeah.
Yeah, like everything that's good for like Bob
Yeah.
is sick for Yorick.
Yeah.
Because it's like, cool, this is an item.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can play that again. No problem.
Yeah. No, he's great.
The
He's
only investigator whose stuff isn't like really good for him is like Patrice.
Yeah.
And even Patrice's stuff, it's kind of like, well, one of these cards is nothing left to lose, which is nuts with this guy because we
Yeah.
just like burn out all our resources
And
playing
then just get
everything
5 of
back,
them
get
back,
5 and
yeah.
draw 2 or 3 cards. Like,
Yeah.
no problem.
It's true.
It's just good. It's just a good time.
All right. My number 1 is everybody's favorite fishman, Silas Marsh.
Fish. How come this doesn't say book promo on it? How I know?
Because
What if I open my Innsmouth conspiracy set, Justin? My
It's
card
mis-
looks different than you.
It's misprinted.
yeah, once
With an
again,
entirely different art.
Silas Marsh
Yeah, it's
gets he was released as a book promo of not this one though. This one's not book promo. This one's just it came from a void. It just fell into my computer.
Okay.
So that's why he gets this special.
Is this
special-
one? Is this one stripped from the floppy disk? And
Yes,
like enhanced?
yes, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
I love Silas Marsh because I love skills, and I like skills are basically just events that you don't have to pay for. Like that's just kind of like what a lot of skills do. And being able to make sure your skill happens is really fun. They also luckily have like there've not been any new cards that you need to Silas proof. Like they all kind of actually like now work without having to worry about that. That was only like the few like weird slip throughs that came through, the
They
mistakes.
heard our endless bitching.
Yeah. But I mean, like,
That's
I think
good.
Silas now even has, like, I don't even actually do unrelenting loops anymore. He actually has pretty good card draw, just making it work all in of itself.
Thank God. That was a big reason I didn't want to play him, because I
Yeah.
hate unrelenting.
And this motherfucker just got 2 vicious blows. So, like, he just leveled up, I think, quite a bit in terms of his damage output. Yeah, dude's just really fun, and he's also really strong, and I think he has, like, competes with Yorick for best Elder Sign in the game. Because recursion is good, and being able to basically play an event, again, if you just treat skills as events, because they are, from your discard pile is really powerful. And it always feels good. Always. Travis, your number 1 is...
It's Luke. Wow. Yeah. So Luke has arguably the best card pool in the game, competing with Trish, because of that Seeker 0-2 and then the purple 0-5. You got lots of really powerful high-level things there. Honestly, the card pool just lets you actually play the game. Stat line for Luke doesn't matter. The hearts and the brains don't matter. The only thing that matters is like the text on his Investigator card and the text on the gate box. And those are so fun because you get to do so many just weird niche things with them. And you get to abuse so many aspects of the game and so many cards. And it's every time I play Luke, I play a slightly different deck, and it's always a blast. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a bad time playing a Luke deck. Even that Halloween video we did, where Bryn brought a Luke deck that was just yellow cards. I was just having a great time. Like, where's the trick?
Because you every time you draw cards, you're like, oh, this card's gas.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think it wasn't until like turn 3 or 4 that you were like, hang on.
Are they purple
Are all
cards?
these cards yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though. He's great.
Yeah. No, you should play him in our Hemlock Vale reruns, and then you can just run around the village like talking to people like, what day is it? And they're like, Monday. And you're like, the date.
You creep out the cultists. They fit right in, right? You're already wearing the mask.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
Yorick.
that's the mask that he's allowed to play though. So like that is like a little bit of a
That's fine. I don't need
bit of a
another mask.
downside, but
I don't need another mask. I'll play the yellow one if I'm allowed to, but like I don't need another mask. On that note, like Yorick, every year has been a good year for Luke. Because they keep printing purple and yellow events. Or cards that are good in general.
And also just like the gate box ain't getting worse.
Nope.
Some would say it's even getting better.
Yeah. There's so many weird like little...
ever since they legalized it.
There's so many weird niche things that you can do with because it's a lightning bolt ability you can use whenever. You can just dodge the enemies during the... It feels so dirty to like pull a bunch of hunter enemies to your location. You're like, I'm just gonna leave.
Oh my god, yeah. Because we did that a lot in the draft run where I was Luke, and it feels like you're actually cheating. Yeah. But you're not. It's totally legal.
That would be kind of wild in that like protect the farmhouse one where you just like walk out and you're like engage a bunch of guys, I'll shortcut, and then I'm not here anymore.
Yeah.
During the enemy phase though, so you don't move because
it actually does seem pretty sick.
Like we're just hanging out. That might be crazy.
No, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play Luke again. Luke plays very nicely with a lot of the curse cards.
Yeah.
I think it's got a great card pool for that. Got a great card pool for a lot of
just
archetypes.
about everything. Like the only thing he doesn't really have a great card pool for is like killing enemies, and even then it's still kind of like okay.
You get Spectral Razor, you get...
Well, it's like the
Blood
Mystic
Right?
killing stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you get the Blood Right. I'm blanking on the book name right now.
Cult Lexicon.
Yeah, Cult Lexicon. You get...
What if you gotta kill a Mindless Dancer 3 times?
That's you have 3 Spectral Razors. You just gotta then keep going Gatebox each time and then come back.
Well, you just gotta draw a symbol token every time you use your Spectral Razor. It's easy.
And then you go into the Gatebox and you're fine, and then the Mindless Dance is like, what the hell?
Also, what's he gonna do?
You draw is like -4 Azathoth attacks you.
You get to Spectral Razor it from the next location over, and then it has to come to you, and then you get to leave. Like...
I didn't say it wasn't good for enemy management. I said it wasn't good for killing.
And then you get the Spectral Razor back, and you just show up at the adjacent location to it, and then you kill it the next turn. It's easy. I've got a plan too. That's another yellow kill. So you get all the yellow event damage spells.
Yeah, they're not
cards.
great.
What? That's been a common complaint for you, is that yellow does everything too well, including
It doesn't. I actually have discovered that it does not do everything too well if you do not read it or pay attention to people who are playing yellow cards.
Head in the sand approach.
Yeah.
So like when
It's
I
been
take my
working pretty good.
turns, do you just like zone out when I take my turns and have been for like the last several years?
No, this
Yeah,
one Brent's like, who are you? Like, who
wait until, I wait until somebody's like Doom, and I'm like, I'm taking my turn.
Yeah. It's just, that's what you, or it's like upkeep, and then it's just like, no, me.
Yeah.
Either that or we draw cards, and then it's, Bryn, I need this dead.
Yeah.
And then you kill the enemy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys had to rate bear paws, what would your top flavor be?
I mean,
Robinson.
I mean, like ours is definitely brownie.
and it's
flavored.
because it's yellow and purple,
Yeah,
right,
it's yellow
Travis?
and purple.
Yep, that's
I mean,
exactly
they're
why. You add them
mostly
together,
yellow
and it makes a
purple, but-
nice brown color.
Yeah. That's how you get the bear paw part. But yeah, no, brownie number 1 for sure.
Yeah, it's like a pretty good one.
Yeah.
And I haven't tried many of the other flavors recently, but birthday cake probably like number 7.
Yeah, birthday cake is like definitely not in the top 5.
Yeah. I'm like a brownie
two
and like,
reasons.
what is it, or not banana bread. There's like an apple crisp one that
Yeah,
is
that
also
one's-
pretty
that
good.
one's
But it's
pretty
also a little bit artificial.
Yeah,
I think I like the
mean,
banana.
That's
more
just like
alcohol.
apple flavor
It's true,
on most
yeah.
things, though.
But it says no artificial colors or flavors. They're lying to us.
No, this is natural brownie flavor.
Oh, maybe, yeah. The apple one says incredibly artificial flavors. Thanks for watching, everybody. Where is it? There it is. We hope you enjoyed this. Next week, we're going to be here for our bottom 5 investigators, so get ready for that. I just know how YouTube and content works. That one's going to be viewed more, but I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see y'all then. Have a good one, and as always, GG's.